Hi everyone, I had my Tombow markers, brush markers out, and I kind of felt inspired to do a skin tone of sorts. Just trying to figure out where to put my phone. Okay, yeah, so to do a skin tone and play a little bit with brush markers because they're quite easy. And also these are, from what I remember, they're water soluble, I think. So we could give it a little go and see how it is. So what I've done is, well, first of all, today is a typical all over the place day where I have loads of stuff to get done and run errands. If you are also busy and you think you'd like to do art but you don't really have that much time, something like this could really help you to get creative. So first of all, if you haven't heard, if you're new to this channel, I got two clear stamp sets out and they're available on my Etsy shop, Alyona Creates. Now, the one that I've used today is the Face of the Day, FOTD. And basically I designed them to make your artistic or creative life a lot easier, specifically when you have very little time, so that it takes out the drawing time for you. You just stamp it and then you can draw on top and kind of develop it into your own thing. So what we're going to do now is, so first of all, I used Distress ink in Tattered Rose. This is a very pale kind of Caucasian skin, new type of a color, and I have used this face stamp, and I have used these lips and these eyes. Now you can go ahead and stamp the eyes in a black ink, but sometimes ink reactivates with markers, and so I didn't want to risk that, and I decided to go ahead and just stamp it in an ink that will not create mess. So first of all, we're going to do some skin. So this is 990 and 942. I really hope that these two colors are not included in that set. Like, there is a skin tone set on Amazon that I have been eyeing lately, and yeah, so I want to check it out and want to make sure it's not repeated. So markers are very easy, really. You're just going to fill in. So this is in place of watercolor, and what you can do is you can do some blending and this sort of stuff. So Tim Holtz Distress ink is meant to be reactivated with water, so be aware of that and kind of stamp it or use the ink in a color like this, which is very light. So first of all, I'm just going to fill the entire face. Now it might be a little bit patchy at start, and usually that's what it is. So once it sort of will dry and there will be some more blending done, so I'm going to go second layer now. With the second layer you can correct if there is anything that you don't want to stand out, and always protect your paper because markers can bleed through. So this one hasn't bled through yet, but I always like to use the Illustrated Faith matte there. Okay, so then we have this really super fine nib on the other side if you need to create anything kind of like detail wise, and it will react on this ink because, like I said, this ink is like a distress ink, so it will behave differently and it might be more fun to see what happens. So now I'm going to swap to, so 942 was the first color and this is 990. So I'm going to do some shading. I just realized I haven't done any brows on her, So before I start to break the paper apart, it needs a little bit of time to dry. I'm going to go ahead and create, I'll give her some eyebrows. So I picked these ones. These are, I kind of see them as fashion eyebrows. They have a nice kind of bushy bit in the front. So as you can see, it's going to be very, very tone on tone, and that's exactly what I want. So for now, I wonder what will happen if I'm going to use a little bit of water with these and make it move a little. So I'm going to wet the paper here and there and just create some. So yeah, I can see that the ink of Tombows is starting to react. So I'm just going to create like fashion highlights and all that sort of break it down a little bit. At the moment it's a bit flat looking. And then I have this lovely color here, which is 873, and I'm going to dab it on the wet here, and then straight away use a brush to blend it. Now a thicker paper might be better if you want to use layers, because at one point this paper will start to break down if I use too much. The other thing that I'm thinking is I'd like to, actually I'm going to go ahead and dry this first. Okay, so now actually I'll bring it a bit closer so you can see what's happening. So we're having these lovely bleeds and leaks, which kind of creates a lovely bit of texture. So now I'm going to concentrate on the eye makeup. So I can vaguely see what's going on here. So I'm going to go in with a black liner. I like using this one for eye makeup because it's so dramatic. So here I'm just going to recreate what I have originally drawn out. So this would be this eye here. Like I said, go ahead and try if your particular marker will go well with the ink that you're using, but if you don't want to risk it, here is what I recommend you do, is just use it on top. So there we go. Like that. And then kind of check it again, see if you need to thicken anything up. Oh, that was maybe a bit too much thickening up, but I'll have to go with it now and do this side as well. Okay, so quite dramatic today. And let's see, still hasn't bled through. That's really good. Okay, so the skin is looking lovely and kind of almost powdery. So it's a different look than what we would do with like a watercolor. Let's see. So this would be a watercolor face. And this one is the markers. Now, for the eyes, it is up to you what color you want to do. Generally, I like a bit of a gray eye. Again, you can play around a little. So what I'm going to do is first use just a bit of gray and then immediately some water. Tombows are great for that. And then I will dry this as well. So you can see we have taken the white off. I'll have to bring it in for you. And now I'm going to use a pencil. so I've got a range here. So I'd like to use like a nice grey. So what's that one? That is the Warm Grey 4. And I just kind of blend it in again on the right on the edges. And then just sort of very light touches. Just moving around in a circular motion. Just build up the color to fade out into nothing. Is how I like to do eyes. You can go for colored eyes if you want. And just have fun with it, really. So at that point, I'm going to go in and do the pupils, which are going to be black as well. Like so. Okay. So that's the eyes. So you can see it's a very quick way of doing things, and I'm going to go for a red lip. So this is a 847. So we are giving her a nice red lip. Same thing. What you can do is use a bit of water to blend things out. So I'm just going to leave some highlights here and there, like so. And then a bit of water, and it just moves beautifully. Look at the color that you get, like a pinky one. So pretty. Correct anything if you need to correct it. And that is it. Right, so the lip looks great. And I kind of feel like I want a bit of this lip in here. So what I'm going to do is just touch it right in there and kind of use it like a watercolor. There we go. I think that looks better to me. But again, be very careful that you don't start breaking the paper. And straight away use a heat tool. So it's gorgeous with water, as you can see. Without water, that's what it looks like. Right here, full on deep red, and then kind of like a raspberry red almost, with a bit of water. So they're really fun to use. And then the final thing that I would do is probably do some shading. I'm just thinking with what color I should do the shading. I don't want to put my Copics on top just in case I ruin them. But hold on, I have a few here. What's this one? Dull Ivory. Maybe I can do it with the Dull Ivory. Yeah, so that's a nice color. But I don't think I can move this color if I use water on it, because these are alcohol markers. No, so they kind of stay in there. So that's the difference between alcohol markers and Tombows. So Tombow are reactivated. You can reactivate them by using a bit of thing, and they look really pretty. Alright, so kind of added a little bit of something there. Maybe I should just add it underneath the nose, just a little touch, and then again just like that. And so at this point I feel like adding a little bit of shadowing with a bit of pencil. If you feel that it's sort of not blended very well with whatever marker you're using, you can just start blending a little with the pencils as well on top, just for that extra bit of dimension. So this dark brown color, quite like it in the eyeshadow area. It's sort of, especially with grey eyes, dark brown really makes them pop. So that's essentially what I'm doing right here, blending it out. And then I'm going to add a bit of warmth to it as well. Just some very light rotation of the pencil. I think I will just add a bit of this dark just right at the edges, like so. And again, the nose needs some blending, so I'm going to do that. And I think this is quite nice. So for the brows, I almost feel like I don't want any brows, but I'm just going to go ahead and give her this nice bit of a ginger brow. I'm kind of feeling it right now. So just a tiny little bit. So kind of completes the face. So you can see it looks completely different with pencils and markers. So if you haven't tried that and just used watercolors before, try your stamp sets with a different medium and you might get an effect that you really enjoy. So this is quite good, and I think I will stop makeup wise here, but of course if you wanted to complete this little illustration, you can totally go ahead, use either water soluble or waterproof ink, depending whether you feel like you're ready or not. What am I thinking? I kind of feel like I want to give her some hair, but I'm not entirely sure, so maybe I'll just give her like a really short little fringe, like so. Or maybe we'll do something different today. Okay, so I'm just going to line it out just exactly where the stamp lines are, and I think I'm going to go in with the black. I should have a black somewhere. Here we go, there's a Copic black, perfect. And then I'm just going to fill in this area with black. And I kind of feel like putting some gold polka dots on it and kind of make it look like she's wearing a turban of some sort. And because we're now using black, you can change the top of her head, the shape, if you want to do that, if you feel like it's looking a bit flat, because obviously it was designed to go with a band or with a flower crown. But if you're not into that, or you want to do something different and you think it's looking a little bit flat, you can change that. So I'm just going to show you. So I'm going to, I feel like I should not line her face out. It feels a bit more realistic to me this way, actually. It looks like a doll face, so I quite like this look. I'm just going to fill in these bits right on the corners. They're looking a bit light, and I want some shadowing there. So I think I need to go ahead, just giving myself another reason why I need to buy a Tombow skin set. But really, without joking, it's a completely different feel and look than Copics. So Copics you would put and they're staying there, then you have to blend it with Copic, so Copic on Copic or with a blender. Here I've got a blender actually. Where is it? I've got a blender. If it's still, no, it feels completely dry. Yeah, so I need to get a blender as well. So that's pretty fun here. So I'm just gonna go ahead and actually create a little arch here in the nose, like so, and then just deepen these sides here right on the side of her face, and maybe just underneath the head, not all the way around, but just here like that. And then maybe a tiny little bit of deepening right here. And then, because I don't want a strong line, I'm just going to use a bit of water. So like I said, you can't do the same technique with the Copics because they're alcohol markers and they'll just sit there. But with them you kind of can play around a little bit and it looks pretty good to me. So I kind of like the hat like this, but maybe just tiny little bit less kind of inverted. So let's see if that makes it look any more better. Oh, the Copics just traveled out of my line. Okay, so I think I probably preferred it how it was original actually, but anyway, I'm going to take some gold now and hopefully just kind of dot around these polka dots. I'm enjoying gold polka dots and everything lately, so why not? I figured on her it would look really beautiful. Also now coming with the festive season, I think that would look pretty cool. It's a completely different look to the ones that we've been doing, but it's the same stamp set, so you can use it in many different ways. Try it out. Maybe even some acrylics, why not? I haven't personally, just because I haven't had time, but you can do that and let us know. So here we go. This is just the face and here are the polka dots right there. You know, you can obviously create a neck. You can go ahead and if you really wanted to continue doodling, give her little ears, you know, just different things that you can still do to kind of make it look a little bit more complete. So I just want to see actually whether the Tombows would work with, because I don't think Tombows are alcohol markers. So if I use Copic on this ink, which is waterproof, I think it's likely to smudge it. But I don't know actually what would happen if I use Tombows. So shall we do this together and find out? I'm going to heat set the ink just in case it's still not fully dry, because I don't want to end up... I'm kind of contemplating whether I should line her face out, but now that I've done the ears, I'm going to go ahead and do that. But I have to say I really like the unlined face as well. Alright, kind of looks real to me. I don't know whether it's the lighting or something, but it just looks like she's like a photograph. So yeah, if you like the skin tone, what were the colors again? The colors were 990 and 942, so check it out. I'm just going to do the earlobes real quick and the neck. But to get there you will need to layer it quite a few times, as you saw. No, it doesn't seem to be bleeding at all, which is good. I'm just going to repeat the same step a couple of times. Do a bit of shadowing. That's it. Okay, I think that's good for me. And if you want that little bit of a watercolor effect, just take your water brush or whatever brush you have and just dab a little bit of water. It will make the ink kind of move around and you'll get these lovely bleeds. Okay, I am super impressed, by the way. This just came out of nowhere. I had no plan or intention to do this today, but I really love her. She just looks so good. Alright, I hope you'll try it, because this has been really super fun. Mind you, I just noticed something which is starting to bug me unless I fix it. So let's see. One of her cheeks is smaller than the other. Oop. Now this is probably a bit much. So you can pick up a bit of the color if you prefer. I'm just going to try and make it look similar to one another. All right, so now I think that's pretty good here. Just dry it. As I was drying, I just realized, check this out. So the alcohol markers, which is the Copics, they bled through straight away, and the Tombows haven't bled at all, even though I put like 3-4 coats of it. So that was interesting. I hope I'm not damaging my Tombows by doing this. So I'm just going to try and make sure the ink is kind of distributed well enough. Alright, so that's it for today. Super fun, love her. And those cute polka dots. Okay, thanks for watching and see you soon.